Mr. Speaker, tonight I think on 3 occasions or maybe 4, we've heard we need to put a face on trade. I encourage all the members, here is the face. It is the face of a refrigerator in Galesburg, Illinois, 1,600 machinists, signed on the last day before their jobs were exported to New Mexico, thanks to a trade agreement that didn't work. This, my colleagues, is the face of people. This trade deal, I commend the framework of it, puts the sheriff, as we've been hearing, the President of the United States, in charge of it. I sit on the Education and Labor Committee of the House. We've had 3 mine disasters. This president won't do a single thing to protect our miners. He won't sign the Employee Free Choice Act to give people a right to collective bargain for it. He will not stand up for American workers. He's had to be sued by our own government for one OSHA standard. And tonight we stand here ready to give this president oversight on this trade deal. And I've been told, well, we'll just subpoena him. We're trying that. We're trying that with the legal counsel for this president and Josh Bolton. We'll see how far that gets us. I take offense, to be honest with you, when people say you won't vote for any trade deal if you can't vote for this one. Let me say I'll vote for every trade deal, as long as it's fair, as long as it works for our American workers, as well as the people that we seek to trade with. How much longer are we going to continue to do this? 54% of Republicans polled don't support this agreement. Almost 70% of Democrats don't support it, and 60% of Americans don't. I ran on this issue. I'm the product of a person whose dad lost their home, not because he did anything wrong, but because he lost his job. And he made me promise 2 things. Take care of your sisters and your mother, just shortly before he died. And do not, whatever you do, Phil, for a living, do not allow this to happen to another family. I may only be in this chamber for 1 term. I don't know. I ran on this issue. I stand on this issue. I'm proud of my voting record with this Democratic caucus. I take a backseat to no one at party loyalty. But my first loyalty comes to the people who signed this refrigerator. I have no loyalty to the President of the United States when he has no loyalty to the people whose jobs he outsourced. I tried to get an amendment before the Rules Committee that would say, if you can get a free trade agreement, fine, but let's get the safety net for workers. One that this chamber passed that Mr. Rangel worked so hard on, who I give him a ton of credit for. And let me tell you what happens. The next day he says he's going to veto it. He won't insure 10 million children. He won't sign a safety net for workers. And we are going to pass tomorrow a trade agreement and expect this president to enforce it. Let me ask you all tonight not to be looking at us as though we're naysayers. We're not. I would love to put my card in tomorrow and hit the green button, but I will not. Because if I do, I will not come back to this chamber. I don't deserve to come back to this chamber. I ran to support these people. I've heard the term protectionism used this evening. If all of us, Democrats, Republicans, left, center, and right, are not going to stand up for the very people who sent us here, who are we going to stand up for? And what are we as members of Congress? I ask you that tomorrow is a very big day. I guess I'm voting no. I don't guess, and I told some people today, I do so proudly. I wish I didn't have to. But I will remember Dave Bavard, who has been unemployed now after 2 wage concessions, no health care, a wife who has cancer, and one member supporting this deal told me that I should go back to Dave Bavard when I said, what should I say to him? And that member said, you should talk about currency manipulation with him. I should need a football helmet He's going to punch me in the nose if I try. Please vote no on this bill.
Gentleman's
I
time
yield
is
back